Today we're going to be looking at Epic Cash and see how epic it really is. Let's check it out. What's up guys, my name is Aaron and welcome to Yes Crypto. Hope all of you are doing well out there. So why are you here and why am I here? We're here to look at Epic Cash, and if you like projects like this, then check out my channel, subscribe, and I will review all these coins so you don't have to. But let's get straight into the video and let's check it out. So here we are, this is Epic Cash, and yeah, it seems pretty epic, and we're currently ranked at 711 on the ranking. And if we just have a little look at this chart real quick, so yeah, we've at one point, so we'd say, when was this? This was in December of 2021. We had an absolutely parabolic bull runs, right? That was obviously when in the height of the bull run, and yeah, we got to a really good price. We got to a price of $6.72, and we're currently at a price of $1.46. So you know we could probably do pretty well out of this one. What is the market cap? So the market cap is 23 million, so which is actually quite low, actually, right? So you know, if we look at what the market cap was at one point, so at one point we got to a market cap of around 85 million. Okay, so you know, 23 million. I think if this project takes off, you know, that's quite a low market cap. We could actually capitalize on that a lot more, so that's good to know. But enough of all this stuff, right? Let's get into the project. Let's have a look at Epic Cash. Okay, so here we are. This is Epic Cash, and what exactly is Epic Cash? Fungible P2P, so peer-to-peer electronic cash. So Epic is a novel software implementation of the original Bitcoin standard. So it's using the original Bitcoin standard. Very interesting. Okay, but it's updated to the most recent technologies. Epic's Rust-based, so it's Rust. Okay, so it's a Rust-based programming language on the coin, right? And it's using the Mimblewimble blockchain, which, if you guys don't know, that's a really interesting protocol, right? So Mimblewimble is to do with privacy, and I'm going to assume right now that this is all to do with privacy, and you can have privacy on the blockchain. So Mimblewimble had a coin called Grim. You know, these coins here, they weren't really like anything crazy in terms of prices, but then we're just talking about what it's using in the back end. But yeah, Mimblewimble is a great protocol for privacy. So Epic Cash is Howey compliant, designed to attain a score of 1 by the Crypto Ratings Council. Okay, Epic Cash is 100% proof of work and mined with no special nodes. With a hard limit on supply, Epic Cash, like BTC, is expected to function a store of value. So it's meant to be like BTC, right? So let's point out some of the good positive things they have here. So it's secure. The only changes made increase rather than decrease security. So okay, so this is basically building on top of how great Bitcoin is, right? Okay, so this is quite interesting. So economic attack resistance, so 51%, etc. So this one goes even further. So an attacker must have 51% of Bitcoin's network, but with this one, you need all of them, right? So in a way, you could say it's a lot more secure, actually. Yep. So it's scalable, full chain, has 1.6 gigabytes, so obviously can be quite scaled quite well. And is decentralized, so that's good to know. So yeah, basically, if you can see from this diagram, that Epic Cash actually helps the different chains be able to put more data behind it, right? So yeah, the Epic with equivalent throughput, so it boosts the actual amount of data that can come through the blockchain. Okay, so look at the partners, right? So we've got some really cool partners here. We've got Cardina, we've got Polygon, Vite, OneChain. So yeah, some big partners here, and obviously Cardina being its own layer 1, and then yeah, you've got Polygon layer 2, OneChain, I think, pretty sure it's layer 2 as well. But yeah, pretty cool. So the epicenter ecosystem actually sounds pretty interesting. Composable components for decentralized finance. So what makes this pretty cool is obviously Bitcoin is Bitcoin, right? But then Epic Cash, it seems like it is very much like Bitcoin, right? But you can build upon it, which is very interesting. So it's kind of like a layer 2, but a layer 1, which is very interesting. Anyone, anywhere can create secure, scalable, and globally accessible financial services in minutes. A bit like having DeFi on top of Bitcoin, right? That's really cool. So here is a little diagram of how this works. So you've got a couple of different things like Epic Cash, and then you've got the stable coin they have, and an algorithmic central bank. To ensure that ESD maintains its soft peg to the US dollar, the Epicenter protocol further specifies a third token, the governance token, for the system to trade under the ticker ECR. So yeah, it's basically trying to make it a bit more secure. We don't want no, projects where they absolutely fail We've seen that in the past with a lot of these stable coins. So yeah, this is basically trying to be the intermediary between these two coins to be able to like level it out, as it seems. So unstoppable money. So censorship resistant. Censorship resistant means in the context that no one can interfere with your access to the network. The network itself cannot be shut down, proof of work, as it relies on the true distributed consensus, meaning that as long as one copy of the software exists somewhere, the network will instantly spring back to life as distributed. Yep, but that's like Bitcoin, right? It's very similar to Bitcoin. So confidentiality. In BTC, for example, the network can accept a transaction as valid, yet individual coins themselves may be designed as illicit and tainted, and therefore be blacklisted by the counterparty. So what does this mean? So Bitcoin as a currency, actually, right, that's not necessarily true. Where it comes down to it, right, is the exchanges. So the exchanges, they could be the one to say something is illicit or blacklisted. They're the ones who would stop you doing that, but Bitcoin on its own as a network wouldn't stop you doing that. But you know, this is another take on it. So just to review this bit right here, I mean, if you look at Bitcoin and you look at this, it's very similar, right? And some of the stuff they're saying in the confidentiality bit, I wouldn't necessarily agree with. So for example, they're saying may be designed as illicit and tainted, therefore may blacklist by counterparties and intermediaries. Yeah, definitely true, right? As in, but what is counterparties and intermediaries? That's like exchanges, or like, you know, who you send something to. They're the ones who would say something illicit, right? Money is currency, right? Regardless of where it comes from. As in, where it comes from is down to the individual, right? So basically, if this was to go onto bigger exchanges, they still have to do like KYC, for example, right? So that point there, I'm not too sure about. Maybe there's another way that they're looking at this, as in, but if they was to join big exchanges, they're going to have to get customers to do KYC, and then you can trace it back to them again, right? Because it's a wallet address. Scarcity, yield, and necessity. So this is where the free combination comes in to keep you safe. That can't even be seized, frozen, or blacklisted by anyone. So yeah, I love this statement. This is a really big statement, but I would love to know like kind of how, like that is what I would like to know. So autonomy and privacy. So we're going to get into this to see how it actually does it. So aguamanenti, if I'm saying that right, I have no idea, but yeah, we keep an eye on potentially promising innovations from within the entire Mimblewimble ecosystem. So obviously using Mimblewimble for privacy, and the case of Grin. So Augmenti is a decentralized protocol to conjure liquidity anonymously over Tor. Very interesting. So they are using Tor to be able to keep the privacy. That's quite cool. But I would love to see how this would work with, like, you know, listing on bigger exchanges. So if this was to be big, obviously crypto is getting more and more regulated now, KYC. How would they be able to integrate this? That would be very interesting to see. So coin shuffle and coin swaps. In BTC, coin shuffle is another technique to boost confidentiality. Very cool. So yeah, basically coin shuffle is, it basically gets your coins. Let's say you do a transaction, right, and then it would split across a couple of different wallets, and then it will put it back together again, right? And obviously there's no way to actually tell where they all came from, right? So that is one way, and then you'll probably do that. You could do that a couple of times, but yeah, it gives you privacy. You wouldn't know where things actually came from. So yeah, it sounds quite interesting actually. So one thing I would definitely say about this is that, you know, Monero is a privacy coin. You've got Dash, where you can get as a privacy element to it. You've got Mimblewimble as a protocol. You've got Grin. You've got a lot of these different coins, right? And I think it's something to note that, you know, unless you're doing, you know, dodgy stuff, that's up to you. It's up to you what you want to do. Do they moon, right? So some of them do moon, right? Some of them do really well, as in, but then it's hard to store them. So for example, I used to hold Monero before. Monero is a great coin for privacy, things like that. But then, you know, there was exchanges that were just delisting Monero. So when you own Monero and let's say you hold a lot of it, you're going to be like, okay, I'm kind of at risk here because I have to keep moving it. So you're going to have to keep moving it. And then because it's a privacy coin, they're going to try and get you with KYC. So yeah, I think this would be really cool to see how they would be able to make that infrastructure, with obviously going on exchanges, things like that. So overall, I actually think this is a great project, right? And you can actually see why they might need the 3 different coins. So if it's going to be truly, like, you know, anonymous, that type of thing, then you know you're going to have to kind of bypass the actual financial system overall, right? Because then they've got all these regulations, and obviously crypto is getting a lot more regulated now. So if you're going to stay out of that, then yeah, you need infrastructure. So you can kind of see why they've got the 3 different coins, so that you can get that infrastructure in place, right? Where do you want to be, right? Where do you want to put your money? Like if you just want to fully be like full-time crypto, never touch the normal financial system, this could be for you, right? But then I feel like if with the way that things go in technology, I don't know if that is where crypto is going, right? Crypto is trying to get mass adoption, and the more and more we get mass adoption, the more we have to work with the financial institutions, and it's going to be regulated. And then these type of coins, like, you know, privacy coins, they're going to be penalized. Although I do think it's very important to have these in the system, because the more and more things get adopted, the more and more things get centralized, right? And then when they get more centralized, then you lose your privacy, and you might want to have an alternative to that, right? In which case you would need to probably look at comparing this coin with the likes of Monero, Dash, these other coins which are privacy coins. So yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on that one. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you invested in this coin? What do you guys think of it? If I've missed anything, let me know as well. Would love to know. But if you really like this coin, you should definitely check out this coin right here. This one's an absolute beast of a coin. But if I don't see you, I'll see you at the top. Bam!